Hey guys, I'm back from HeroesCon and I am exhausted and I have a lot of books to show you guys, so I'm just going to kind of get into it real quick and simple. But before I do, I was going to open this on camera, but my husband is not a patient man, and I had left the house for like 20 minutes before we actually left to go to HeroesCon, and in that 20 minutes the postman had delivered a package from Brian LCS. So last week on his Breakfast with Brian stream, I did not win a giveaway. Evil's Comics won a giveaway, and he gave it to me. I'm going to leave links to their channels in the description, as well as Fanboy Prime, who's referenced here in this sweet note. Congrats on your Breakfast with Brian win. Glad Fanboy Prime shouted you out. Hope all is well with you. And I just thought the presentation of this was really cool, and I was super excited for these Marvel annual cards. We actually were looking for Marvel cards the whole time we were at HeroesCon because we were really hoping to get like a box of Marvel annual, and nobody had any. Dave and Adam's Card World was there, and they were like, oh, nobody buys cards, so we don't bring them here. It's like, you're literally a card shop. But oh well. Anyways, we got this awesome Storm and Valkyrie. And I love the Valkyrie that they did in this set, so thank you so much. The books that were in that were the Static Season 1 #1, which is Static is a character that I'm vaguely familiar with, but I've never really watched or read until recently. So I'm glad to have a #1 of a run of Static, because that's something that I'm trying to read right now. We got Dark Knight's Death Metal #2, the super awesome Wonder Woman cover. That is so cool. I love these death metal covers and the steampunk stuff that they do. Awesome. Got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #1, which just like hits all the right buttons as a 90s kid. So thank you. Got this super cool Shuri cover here with a Black Panther #7. And this is a book that I have been trying to find in a good condition at a good price for the longest time. Shogun Warriors #1. I love this. Like, I'm not like the hugest fan of like Transformers and mechs and things, but this cover, like, this has always spoken to me. So thank you so much. That was awesome to start off my weekend. Now here's for the con books. This is just another book, another She-Hulk cover that I've been eyeballing for a while. It's She-Hulk #4. She's sitting here in the ring with Thing. I love the Thing too. Next we got this Amazing Spider-Man #320. This is just a cool Todd McFarlane cover with Paladin. I think paid a couple bucks for that one, as well as this one. It's another Todd McFarlane Spider-Man cover, this time with Sabretooth. And if you saw a couple videos ago, I'm kind of on a Sabretooth kick right now. So, super cool. Keeping on with the Spider-Mans, we got the Amazing Spider-Man 408. This is the first appearance of this female Dr. Octopus. Paid a couple bucks for that, and I think $3 for that. It's worth about 10, so that was fun. Next we got Venom Lethal Protector #5. It says on here the first Lasher, Agony, Riot, Phage. It's just a bunch of symbiotes. I have their first appearance on this one. Got that for about 10 bucks, and our friend who was kind of house and cat sitting for us while we were gone has already got his hands on that one, so super great to bring that home for him. Next we got Spawn #8. This is a newsstand Spawn, which I don't know if I've ever really seen a newsstand Spawn personally. But this is the first appearance of the Vindicator. So, let's see, I don't think there's anything. Yeah. We bought that for $3, and it's a $15 book, so that was cool. Next we got a bunch of Superman books. I'm gonna move these. This is a book that I got just kind of as part of a deal for another book. This is Superman #1, first issue of this Superman run. That's the first appearance of New Metallo. Paid a couple bucks for it. It's worth like $8-ish, I think, something like that. Next, we've got Adventures of Superman 501. So this finishes off all of the 4 die-cut Superman books that, or the Reign of Superman books that were all like the die cuts. Out of the other 3, I picked them up all on video actually. So this is the first Connor Kent story. First Connor Kent story? Yeah. And the first appearance of Tana Moon, who is kind of his Lois Lane, I guess. I saw people trying to sell this book for like 20 bucks. Bought this for $2. I mean, you can get it on eBay for $5. So I don't know why people were putting $20 on this thing, but maybe I was missing something. But either way, I picked it up for $2. Next, we've got Superman 203. This is just Michael Turner Superman. Is always a grab for us. This is, what's her name, Lila, I think, who we've got the first appearance of, or the first, like, reintroduction of, and she's also here on Superman, well, we also have Superman 202. So we've got a lot of this run where Superman, I guess, is on Krypton right here. We haven't really read a whole bunch of this, or I haven't read a whole bunch of this. I think my husband has, but I'm really going to have to read this whole Superman run because I've seen enough coolness in the covers here to make me want to. But Michael Turner's Superman cover is always going to be a quick grab. So yeah, anyways, gonna have to try to read that now. I think we have most of this particular storyline. So all right, the next 2 are a little bit older and absolutely hit all the right buttons for me. This is Superman number 221. This is Superman as the 2-ton super fatso, he says. So, grabbed this for $3, I think. It's like an $8 book. It's in kind of rough shape, but, I mean, come on. Who can leave that? I love it. It's a 2-ton Superman. And then kind of along the same lines, I think we paid maybe $5 for this one. This is Action Comics number 466, and this has Lex Luthor punching a baby Superman, and I don't know, maybe my sense of humor is just a little bit warped, but I just couldn't leave him. Let's see. Both of those books actually in like in a high grade, you know, can get a little bit of money, but they're like $10 books, maybe $8, something like that. Let's see. Next, I've got The Invisible Woman number 1. This is just a really pretty Adam Hughes cover. I have put this down from Dollar Bins a couple of times. I think we got this as part of a deal too. No, I might have paid the full $5 because this cover has really haunted me. As soon as I really started regretting leaving this behind in Dollar Bins, I never saw it again. So this is just like my favorite Adam Hughes Invisible Woman cover. Like I said, it's available in Dollar Bins. I just haven't found it since I wanted it. All right, and then now I think we're getting into the more exciting stuff. Got the Incredible Hulk number 272. This is the second appearance of Rocket Raccoon. So that's really, this book got really hot, you know, leading up into the movie and everything. But it's cooled back down a little bit. We only paid $3 for this book, and it's in really good shape. So that was really exciting. Because it's worth about $15. I mean, there was a point in time, it's a second appearance, right? So, but I saw people spending like 30-something bucks on this book, $40 on this book, so. And this is actually an awesome Hulk here with him, like, is he battling like the Abominable Snowman, or is that somebody I don't recognize? I don't know. All around pretty cool to find for $3. Next, I've got Rage of the Red Lanterns, number 1. I guess this is a one-shot comic. This is the first print. There's a bunch of different prints of this, and look how gruesome this, this Green Lantern is. I don't know which lantern that is, but anyways, this is the first appearance of Bleez, Dexter, who both, I think are both Red Lanterns. I can't remember, but it's also the first appearance of Saint Walker, who I think is the leader of the Blue Lanterns. He's a bigwig Blue Lantern. Trying to go back into my memory box. But it's also the first appearance of a bunch of Red Lanterns. It's the origin of the Red Lantern Corps. Atrocious becomes a Red Lantern, as you see here. So I got that for about $8 or so, and it's worth about $25, so we got a good deal on that. And that's a book that my husband's been trying to, you know, he's had in the back of his head and never really actually grabbed in person or seen in person to grab. Next, we've got the first cameo appearance of Crossbones in Captain America 359, as well as the first full appearance of Crossbones in Captain America 360. So those books are, I think, $10 books or so. This is a really cool, I've always really liked this whole, I don't know, the Wheel of Death cover here. I always thought that was cool. So yeah, first Crossbones. Next we've got Thanos number 13. This is the first appearance of the Cosmic Ghost Rider. So this here is in a, I guess it's still called a top loader with a comic, right? Because it's probably going to end up on this shelf. Yeah, first appearance of the Cosmic Ghost Rider. He paid, I didn't pay. He paid $60 for this book. It's about an $85 book, so a really good deal. It was actually on the official list of things that he's been wanting and looking for a little while. So I know he was happy to find that for a pretty decent price. And like I said, that's probably going to go on the shelf. We've got a bunch of Thanos stuff, so, and the shelves kind of rotate depending on the day and depending on the mood. Who you like better that day. Next we got Wolverine. This is volume 3, but Wolverine number 66. This is the first appearance of Old Man Logan. Bought that for $20 or I think. It's a $30 book. So this is super, all of these, like, this era of Wolverine has some pretty cool covers. And then I guess, and I haven't actually read this. My husband has, and he was saying this here is like an incestuous back alley hillbilly Hulk family. So now I kind of do. I have the Marvel Reader app. I'm probably going to go through and read some of this. Oh, Steve McNiven. He was there at HeroesCon. Wish I had noticed that before. All right. Next we've got Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 64. This is the first appearance of Cloak and Dagger. Paid $30 for this book, and it's worth about $40 in this condition, maybe a little more. Like, prices are all over the place, but this is a pretty high grade copy. And then the only issue with this is that it's got some little bites taken out of the top right there. And we're really looking at condition right now because we're hoping to get, I've never submitted books to CGC, but this is going to be my first time. It's going to be my husband's like second or third time, I think. I'm trying to get some good stuff together, so. Let's see, next we've got Avengers 196. This is the first appearance of Taskmaster. We paid $30 for this book, but it's worth about $50. This one's in pretty good shape, but we did have to bend some little spots around right there. So this was definitely not a dollar bin digging weekend. That was what I had hoped to do. But there was just so much stuff. There was just so much to do. And so we're like, you know, we got dollar bins close to the house we got to go through. Let's just keep on with these $5 and $10 books. And, you know, Wallet's not too happy about it, but we were kind of prepared for that. So next we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 607. This is J. Scott Campbell, Black Cat variant. All these books are really hot. This right here, and there's the one with Mary Jane sitting on the couch, and then there's one with Spider-Man and Black Cat kissing, and Mary Jane just been like, oh, in the background. So, this was really cool to find. This was $50, I think, and I think we paid $40 for it. I think they had 50 on it. We paid $40 for it, and this book can go for like $100. There's two different variants of all of these. Like there's like a Mexico sketch variant. It'll say like Mexico on the corner. That one's not worth quite as much, but if you can, like if you see these books, they are $100 books, you know, all day. J. Scott Campbell, Amazing Spider-Man variants. That's like 607 607, and 608, I think. Anyways, this is another one that's already found a place on the shelf. So we're going to keep this, and it's in really good condition. And if we do send in some stuff to grade, that's probably going to be in the stack. Next, we've got Destroyer Duck #1. Now, this is the first appearance of Gru the Wanderer, who, if you don't know, is kind of a parody of Conan the Barbarian. And I used to really love like Hagar the Horrible and stuff in the newspaper comics. Like, I think he's something kind of like that, you know what I mean? If you're not familiar with the character, he's kind of funny. I think this might be the first appearance of Destroyer Duck as well, but I didn't really look into it that much. Now, when I was looking into the Gru stuff, though, this whole special lawsuit benefit edition, apparently this was kind of this book was put out almost as a part of a series of events that led to Image Comics, where Sergio Aragonés, is that how you say his name? I'm drawing a blank on pronunciation of it right now, but he disagreed with, you know, the whole concept of not being able to keep the intellectual property of their characters and things, DC and Marvel owning the characters instead of the creators. And this Destroyer Duck was put out as part of like a fundraiser for a lawsuit for that kind of thing. So I thought that was like a cool fun fact. But anyways, first appearance is in here. And we found that for, I think we paid $15 for it. And that's like a $60 book. That's not one that I've ever seen in person, and apparently my husband's been looking, actually I say apparently, he's been looking for this book for years. I've heard about this book for years, and found 2 copies actually, only bought one, but one is enough. First appearance of Gru the Wanderer. Next we got Big Boy, Iron Fist #1. First appearance of Iron Fist. Now if you look at it, there's some stamps on this, which is fine, but it is a little bit beat up. You can see, I mean, it's not in any kind of near mint shape at all, but it's Iron Fist's first appearance, which is super cool. This book, sorry, I'm trying to remember, I think we paid $60 for this book. That's worth about $120 even in this shape. You know, in near mint copies, raw will go for closer to like $200. We ended up a little bit too late in the con. We'd already spent a little bit too much money at that point, but we saw this book graded an 8.0 for like, I don't know, $250, maybe $300, I think is kind of the price that was offered out. And like, oh my gosh, that would have been way nice to have. But anyways, Iron Fist's first appearance. This is a official written down list book that we can now check off. We ended up doing a trade of Saga #1. I don't know if that's a book anybody's familiar with, but it's an independent book. It's an interesting story if you ever want to go look it up. But we had that graded at a 9.8. We ended up making a trade. He probably came out a little bit better if you're looking at money-wise, but that's okay because these are books that we needed. Ended up getting this one. This is the New Avengers #27. This is where Hawkeye is revealed as Ronin. So this is like a $15 book. It just kind of got thrown in with it, you know what I mean? Also got Miss Marvel #16. This is the first cameo appearance of Mystique. So that's exciting. The first appearance cover is not as cool as this one. I can't remember the name of the issue off the top of my head, but I love this Miss Marvel cover. And I'm a Miss Marvel fan anyways, but every time that I look through some of her books, like her big books or anything like that, I've just always loved this. So this is a pretty good looking copy too. It's a little bit dirty up here, you know, I probably wouldn't send it in for anything, but yeah, so Mystique's first cameo appearance. And then this was the big draw for this trade. We've had this book and sold it a couple of times now. But this time she's here to stay. Savage She-Hulk #1 in a 9.6. Sorry, you can't see that. I didn't test the height on that. So this is my big, well, one of my big exciting books. This was our only graded book that we got this week, but it's well worth it. This is the highest grade copy that I've had. The one that we had to sell, or we did sell one, not had to sell, but we did sell one last year. That was a 9.2 or so. So definitely traded up. Savage She-Hulk #1, first appearance of my girl. Now, final chapter. Told y'all this was the Teen Titans con, and I showed y'all no Teen Titans books. I do have a stack over here. There wasn't quite as many, I guess, as I was planning to get, but I'm pretty happy with the selection that we got. This was kind of just a random. This is Teen Titans #1. This is, I think, a clone of Tara. My last video, I said Tara was one of the Runaways. That's not exactly true. It's kind of implied in the story, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. And she ends up with a couple of clones. I think this is her clone. But anyways, Teen Titans #1, first terrifying issue. There's actually 5 covers, all with each of the different Teen Titans. So now maybe that's something I need to find once I finish everything else. Now I got Teen Titans New Teen Titans #4. This is the first cameo appearance of Trigon. Cameo appearance, or was that the full appearance? I think this was the... Damn. Now my mind's drawing a blank. I think this was the first cameo appearance of Trigon. Sorry, I told y'all my brain's fried. Anyways, next I've got New Teen Titans #14. This was one that I had also mentioned that I wanted. This is a Doom Patrol origin story and the first appearance of the new Brotherhood of Evil. All of these books, none of these books are worth crazy amounts of money, right? These are all like $10 books that I've been pulling out for these Teen Titans at the most. But there's stuff, for my PC. That's what's important, right? Also got Tales of the New Teen Titans #4. This finishes off the series. That was just a little goal that I had. Next, I've got New Teen Titans #6. This is the first cover appearance of Trigon and his origin story, I do believe. So this was one of my big books that I wanted. Trigon the Terrible, looking terrible. Got this book for $10, I think. It was $15 for this one in the first appearance, actually, is what I paid. So that was super cool to fill out the collection. All the other ones I think I paid $2 or $3 for. And then I know what you're asking yourself. Did you get the big boy? Well, in fact, you did. Doom Patrol #99. First appearance of Beast Boy. We traded a graded copy of Batman 386, which is the first appearance of Black Mask. I can't remember exactly what that was worth. But anyways, we paid that and a little bit of cash for this book. So, super happy to have it. I think it was like $220 by the end of it, as far as like trade and cash. And now I'm seeing that there's a little bit of dust in my case. There we go. Anyways, this book, when he sold it to us, he said it was in like a 6.0-ish condition, maybe. But like looking at it, there's nothing really wrong with this book. I mean, there's color rub, which when you're talking about a book this old, then, that's pretty negligible. We were kind of looking, my husband was a little bit nervous about, you can't see it in here probably so much, about the staples. Like, this book is in really good shape. Staples aren't rusty at all. There's no like major corner damage or anything like that. So anyways, main goal of the con absolutely accomplished. First appearance of Beast Boy. So now, I've better rounded out my Teen Titans collection. I've got my Savage She-Hulk. This Iron Fist has been, on the list for a long time. This Destroyer Duck's been on the list for a long time. So I would say we had a pretty successful con. Like I said, spent a little bit more than we wanted to. And actually, some of that where I said we spent, we did do a lot of trading while we were there. So, we didn't quite spend as much as what I said, but effectively. Effectively so. So anyways, that was a super fun HeroesCon. I hope anybody else who went had as successful of a trip as we did. Hope you enjoyed yourself, and if you did not go, I hope you enjoyed your weekend nonetheless. Happy Father's Day to everybody. And now I am going to go to bed. So I hope y'all, again, have a great weekend. Let me know what you thought, and let me know what you got if you did go to HeroesCon. And otherwise, I guess I will see you next time.